Hello, soul searchers, and welcome back to my channel where we use tarot to gain better insight into ourselves and the world around us. So today I will be doing my first set of nails. This is the Queen of Hearts set from Glamnetic. I will have it linked in the description box if you're interested. I'm not sure if I'm still an Amazon affiliate, so take that message in the description box with a grain of salt. But anyway, I recently had a realization about myself, and of course, I had to come on camera and share it. I want you guys to know that as I'm getting messages, I am also receiving them for myself. So I don't want you guys to ever think I have it all together. I am constantly getting insights about how I have to check myself, and this is one of those. So if you were somebody who is into spirituality and you've also been guided to kind of get your life together, welcome. Welcome to your tribe. Anyway, what had happened was I was watching this YouTuber who I do watch pretty often, and she ended up making basically like a comparison or bringing up something that I had mentioned in a video that I recently posted as well. She does have the bigger following, and so my immediate reaction to hearing that was like, bruh, really? And it wasn't even anger at her, but I was just thinking, like, if anybody watches both of us, they're gonna immediately think that I got that analogy from her, as opposed to just, kind of getting my own intuitive insight. And I was guided immediately to pause and figure out why my brain went there. And like, reasons are reasons. Life is hard. People have projected a lot of negativity onto me throughout my life, and I'm just now starting to realize the effects of that, I think. No excuses, but that's just how my brain is wired. And I do realize that I walk around with this level of paranoia because at any given moment when I'm just living my best life, somebody's going to come with a fucking judgment. So, yeah, I took a minute to think about it, and it was immediately after I kind of realized where that fear matrix idea was coming from. Spirit guided me to think about how else I could interpret that. Like the fact that we both got the same message, how else could I interpret that? And when I just sat in my own energy, I was like, not worried about anybody else, just thinking about myself. I was like, I could also just take that as confirmation. The fact that she and I are getting similar messages from Spirit is actually a sign that I'm on the right track. It's actually a sign that, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm getting the messages that I'm supposed to get for my collective. And not saying that, like, I need other readers or witches or anybody to back up what I'm getting. Like, I'm all about personal gnosis, but it does feel good to know that I'm not an island, and Spirit is trying to talk to all of us in a way that makes sense and get the message through to the people who are willing to channel it out. And that feels good to know every now and then. I don't need it all the time, but every now and then it's just good to know that I'm not in this void just hearing things that nobody else is hearing. And so I was like, yeah, I could take that as confirmation. Also, the other reader, like I said, she has a bigger following. And she does spirituality full time. Between YouTube, she has like a spiritual business. Like, that's her job, that's her life. And that is definitely something I aspire to. Y'all know I am trying to quit my full time and be a content creator full time. So if you do like the content that I've been making, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting. Anything helps. Because this is something that I want to do, as a living. So just the fact that she got a similar message also felt like confirmation, like, keep going and you can get to that level that she's at, because that is something that I aspire to. And now I'm seeing 420 on the camera. That could be relevant to somebody, but yeah, this whole message, the energy of it is Page of Cups coded. And Page of Cups has been like randomly darting in and out of my awareness for a while now. But the way he came through recently, and I'm saying he because it's normally depicted as a he, but keep in mind, all of the tarot cards are just energy. So the way the Page of Cups came up to me recently was basically as asking, with this thing that you're seeing, How are you interacting with it? Where are you finding your place with that thing? So in this case, well, let me go back to the Page of Cups. In the case of the traditional image, you see a page looking at a fish in a cup, and the page is trying to figure out where he exists, or what the dynamic is between him and this fish. Is he getting information from the fish? Is he the fish? Like, what? Like, all of it is possible, but where is he choosing to find his perspective in relation to the fish? Same thing with this specific scenario. This YouTuber got a similar message to me, and Page of Cups came through to ask, why are you immediately assuming the worst about the fact that y'all are getting the same message? And once you bring awareness to that and sit with that for a second, how can you now flip that into a more positive mindset? So that's basically what I kind of just went through with this whole breakdown of why I think that way, because I've just been a victim of projection, as are most people, especially in childhood. And then once you bring awareness to that wound, how can you flip your perspective to actually be one that serves you? And really, it all just comes back to you. You can't control other people's perspective and what other people will say. Everybody has a right to their opinion and their perception, but you can control your own. And you can choose whether or not you want those perceptions and projections to continue affecting your life, or if you really want to get out of that survival mode, survival matrix, and just really focus on yourself. Because even if you're perfect, people are going to have something to say. Look at Jesus. And I'm going to leave that there. So that's the message for today. I hope it helped and resonated. If you do want a journal prompt, how would I put that? Kind of like what I just said with the Page of Cups. How are you feeling in relation to these different challenges or things in your life? And how can you change your perspective on those things, or your relationship to those things, to better your mindset and in turn better your life moving forward? There is sometimes a bit of a fake it till you make it energy with the Page of Cups, but yeah, I'm gonna just leave it here. I hope it helped and resonated. I hope y'all like watching me do my nails. This was my first set. I actually really did like it. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see y'all in the next video. See you later, Soul Searchers.